Are you a powerlifter and you are not sure in which weight class you should compete in? Or are you between weight classes? Or if you are at the limit of your weight class and you're not sure if you have to go up or down? Competing in the right weight class will either unlock your true potential or limit the gains or progress you can make in powerlifting. In this video, I'm going to help you decide on which weight class to pick in powerlifting. But in this video, we're going to take a bit of a different approach than the videos that are already out in YouTube and on the social media. And this video will be split in 3 parts: when to go up, when to go down, and when to stay in the same weight class. And in the end, like I said, I'm going to give you the tables of Boris, Sheiko, one of the most popular powerlifting coaches in the world. And this table is a very good approximation on which weight class you should pick. But first, what are the weight classes in powerlifting? Each federation has their own weight classes, but in this video, we're going to talk about the weight classes in the IPF, the federation I compete in, and there are 8 weight classes for men and 8 weight classes for women. There are also 2 more weight classes that are available only in the sub-juniors categories. So starting with when you should go up a weight class. First off, let me be clear and say that if you are a beginner, you should not really worry about your weight class, and the weight class you will start competing in will most probably not be the weight class you will stay in the long term. You should not limit your potential. If you are a beginner, you should just focus on getting stronger, building muscle in a caloric surplus but not overdo it, and it's highly likely that you will land in the weight class you should be competing in. Generally, the taller you are, the heavier you have to be, and if you look like Slenderman, you'll do whatever is necessary to fill out that frame. There are of course exceptions in the rules, like always, and there might be a taller and thinner lifter, there also might be a shorter and heavier lifter. But in general, the taller you are, the heavier you have to be, and that is for a good reason. The goal is to always maximize muscle mass and fill out your frame. That means being leaner and having more muscle mass. There are 3 ways to get stronger: improve your technique, train your muscles to become more efficient, and build more muscle. The more muscle you have, the more potential you have to produce force. So if you're a tall and thin lifter, it's time to start eating, brother. But what are some more reasons to go up in body weight? When you are in between weight classes, you have a decision to make. Go up or down. You always want to fill out the weight class and you don't want to be in the middle. If you are at the limit of a weight class and you are always training in a caloric deficit to maintain the weight class and you're always restricting yourself and your body's natural desire to build muscle, is usually a sign that you have to go up. If you find that if you eat a breadcrumb more than the usual and you find yourself over the weight class, it's probably time to go up. Also, being fat may have some benefits like reducing range of motion and changing your body's mechanics a little bit, like shifting of your center of mass, the percentage of your body fat that you will perform at your best. Functional body fat percentage, meaning that the body fat that you perform your best at, are not the same for everyone, but around 10 to 20% seems to be the sweet spot, at least in the lighter classes. So choose a body fat percentage that you can perform your best at while being healthy and having good recovery. Another reason to go up a weight class is if competition day comes and you always have to do insane water cuts more than 3% of your total body weight to compete, you are risking injury and you probably have a performance drop, and it's usually time to go up. Also, if you are always in a deficit, you feel flat, and by flat I mean that your muscles are almost always empty of glycogen, which is a huge indicator for performance, or you find that you are getting injured way too often, it's probably time to move up. Also, if you are an insanely lean lifter, which means you maximize the amount of muscle you can put in a given weight class, and you cannot train for more hypertrophy or body recomposition because you are maxed out, it's probably time to move up. If you find it harder and harder to drop into a weight class by doing a diet or a weight cut, or if you see that your performance has plateaued for a very, very long time, and if you are not as competitive in your current weight class or at the international level and or national level, going up would be a good idea. You might be going up a weight class, but you have a good chance to increase your DOTS, which is basically your relative performance, and it means if you have more DOTS in a higher weight class, it means you are overall a better lifter. Now that I have given you a million reasons on why you should go up a weight class, let's see when it's time to go down a weight class. Believe it or not, there are much less reasons for someone to go down a weight class, so it's easier to know. One reason to drop a weight class for people that are not competitive in powerlifting and do it just as a hobby is for health reasons. If you find that you are not as healthy when you are heavier, for example, unnecessary percentages of body fat, or your hormones are all over the place, or in worst case scenario you are starting to develop diabetes, it's better for the long term to start slowly going down, and I emphasize slowly so that you can maintain all the strength gains you have made. Another reason to drop in body weight and not go up is that if you are slightly above the weight class and you are not the leanest lifter, meaning that you can do a body recomposition where you are basically lowering your body fat percentage and increasing your muscle mass, you can still drop a few kgs and do a recomposition there so that you can fill your weight class and build more muscle in that weight class before going up. For powerlifters who are doing this seriously and want to reach a high level, there are a few reasons for cutting down, for example, going for a record. But think of it like this: if you are a competitive powerlifter, one way to know if it's time to go down, assuming that you won't lose any strength, is are you more competitive if you do a successful cut and have the same total as now in the lower weight class? If you're an experienced lifter, it's very hard for you to drop a whole weight class and not lose any strength, but in best case scenario, you'll be able to maintain your total at the lower body weight, but it's also very hard to do. But it's also a very big risk to take, and you should think about it a lot before doing that. So we have talked about going up, going down. So what about staying in the same weight class? Staying in the same weight class is the easiest decision. If you're slightly over the weight class, around 1%, you can stay in the weight class. You can play around gaining and dropping weight at a reasonable rate to maximize your gains and fill out your frame. If you have a bit of excessive body fat, maybe you have a bit of a belly, it's probably good to lower your body weight in that weight class and then build it up back again. And also, if you are seeing that you are making progress without gaining weight, it's a very good indicator that you don't need to change your weight class yet. Also, if you don't have to worry too much about making weight or at all, then you should stay in the weight class. And finally, if you're at the beginning of a weight class, you should of course slowly build into that weight class and fill out the weight. As a final note, I'm putting Sheiko's table right here in this corner. As you can see, the amount of body weight you have is related to how tall you are. It's a very good indicator and a very good guideline for you to pick your weight class. But at the end of the day, gaining, going up a weight class or going down a weight class comes to what are your goals. Do you do this as a hobby and you just want to get stronger? How important is your appearance to you? Are you willing to hold a bit more body fat than your beach body? And are you taking this seriously and you absolutely want to maximize your potential? These are all questions that you have to ask yourself at the end of the day when deciding a weight class, and it will make things much clearer. If you just want a general guideline and some pretty straightforward answer, you can check this table made from Sheiko, and it shows the relationship between height and body weight, but these are some general trends and body weight plays a role too. If your goal is to be more competitive and have a competitive career, don't look only in the short term. For example, drop your weight only for one meet. See the long term too. Do you think you'll be better in the long term in another weight class, maybe a heavier one? And remember that powerlifting is a marathon. Building strength takes time, and if you want to be a good powerlifter, you have to play the long game. Whichever way you choose to go, either going up or down, you should remember to do it slowly to minimize strength loss and maximize muscle gain or muscle retention. And the general guideline I can give you is to lose or gain around half a kilo per month. If you choose to go up a weight class, don't do it in an insane caloric surplus and put on unnecessary amounts of body fat. Slowly build up and give your body time to adjust to the new body weight and increase your strength. I hope this video made things a little bit more clearer for you. Do you feel that you are stuck in training? Your genetics are not the problem and you just need the right program. So make sure you check out strengthblocks.com, join our team, and let's start building and let's start getting stronger together. In our team, we have international level athletes who have won medals at international level competitions. And that's it for today, and I'll see you on the next one.